With the 2026 ballot approaching, the political landscape is becoming increasingly charged, especially between President Museveni, seeking another term under the NRM banner, and NUP's Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, who is making his second attempt to challenge the president's nearly 4-decade hold on power. Addressing the media today, Kyagulanyi emphasized that Ugandans have a constitutional right to observe the electoral process and safeguard their vote. He insisted that civic vigilance should be exercised lawfully during the forthcoming general election.
The Act provides that the people of Uganda have every right to guard their election. They just need to stand only 20 meters away from the voting table. And that is what we continue to call upon our people to do. After voting, don't leave. Stay there peacefully, non-violently, and in a very orderly manner, but observe the election. We are calling upon the citizens of Uganda to actively participate in the voting process, in the election process, voting and protection of the vote. There's nothing illegal about that.
Kyagulanyi also criticized recent remarks by the Chief of Defense Forces, who cautioned voters against lingering around polling stations after voting and urged them to trust security agencies and easy to manage the process. The NUP leader described the directive as unnecessary micromanagement and questioned the silence of the Electoral Commission leadership on the matter.
Muhoozi has made himself the spokesperson of the Electoral Commission. Mr. Byabakama is completely silent on this matter. Just like it was in 1980, the military is trying to take over the election process, which the people of Uganda must not accept, because every time the election process is usurped by the military, you have seen the consequences.
This also sparked reaction from some MPs who questioned CDF's role in the upcoming general election.
We need to get the government to tell us whether the military, like it did in 1980, December, has now taken over the organization, management, and supervision of elections. Because recently I was on a radio station and there were adverts run by the military telling people, go away after elections. We now have the military and the CDF in particular speaking more about election than the chairman of the Electoral Commission. And then I don't know who will volunteer to tell us whether General Muhoozi, Kainerugaba, the CDF and the military have now taken over elections. Leave alone the violence, beating people, military hanging all over. And so can those two issues be answered, Mr. Speaker?
And lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, no, the military has not taken over the management of the election in Uganda. Election is managed by the Electoral Commission.
Meanwhile, speaking during a radio talk show in Chisozi last night, President Museveni warned Ugandans against being misled by what he termed short-sighted opposition leaders, arguing that numerical strength of civilians cannot override the authority of the police and the UPDF in maintaining law and order.
Mbadde mpulira Kyagulanyi agamba nti abaserikale batono nti barayoters bangi banange temuwuliriza bya Kyagulanyi kubanga tebirinamu kulengera kubanga buli muserikale omu alina amasasi 12 kati ekibala ekyo bw'ogamba nti barayoters bangi sooka obala amasasi g'abaserikale ojja oyogere ku namba. It's not a number, it is okugoberera ebiragiro. N'olwekyo temweraliikirira mwena mugende mulonde tewagenda kutabula Uganda taliiwo. Anaagezako agenda kwejusa.
The president's remarks, however, drew sharp reaction from Kyagulanyi, who said such statements amounted to intimidation and risked encouraging the use of force against civilians exercising their democratic rights.
We saw General Museveni intimidating the people of Uganda. Yes, I said it, and I say it again. According to you, boss, we are 49 million Ugandans. And that number is highly, highly contested because so many of us were not even counted. But if we are to go by you, boss, numbers, that we are 49 million Ugandans, therefore we cannot be subjugated by the police and the military, especially if we are not breaking any law. General Museveni said that every police officer and every soldier is going to be having 120 bullets, thereby suggesting that they can kill the people of Uganda. In fact, Museveni was inciting the police and military against the people of Uganda.
President Museveni mentioned that no one should attempt to destabilize the country, urging citizens to vote peacefully and return home, confident that security agencies will maintain order.
Kati ekyobutebenkevu kyoli agenda kutabula Uganda. Anagezako yenna mu ngeri emenya amateeka tugenda okumukwata ne tumugalira. Kyewali kyamaanyi kyebagenda kukola ekyetusobola kukola.
Kyagulanyi, on his part, reiterated that neither he nor his party has called on any Ugandan to act outside the law, maintaining that their demands for transparency and vigilance fall squarely within constitutional provisions.
I must reassert it that we have not encouraged any citizen of Uganda to behave in an unconstitutional and in an illegal manner. No. Everything we encourage the people of Uganda to do is way within the law. We have encouraged the people of Uganda to exercise their right within the law. And we have quoted Section 31 of the Presidential Elections Act.
Amid rising political tensions, the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Stephen Samuel Kazimba Mugalu, has called for mutual respect, dialogue, peace and tolerance as the country heads toward the 2026 general elections.
I call upon all political actors, leaders, security agencies, and citizens to commit themselves to peaceful, free, and fair elections. Dialogue, tolerance, and mutual respect must guide political engagement so that the electoral processes remain peaceful and credible.
As the election season gathers momentum, the debate over voter conduct, election security, and civic space is increasingly defining the political narrative. While the government emphasizes order and institutional trust, the opposition insists on citizen vigilance and accountability. How these competing perspectives are reconciled may play a decisive role in shaping public confidence and the credibility of Uganda's 2026 general elections.